kind of have to figure those things out. Also, do I need probably a stand-up bathtub as opposed to maybe purchasing just decorations for the house. Maybe you need it because it's something that's going to help you to be able to be safer in your home. So those are some things that you can kind of consider. We want to learn to track our spending so we know exactly what we're spending our money on each and every month. So I encourage you to do like a 30-day just evaluation. Take when you're shopping or purchasing groceries or whatever those things are that you are buying, just take your receipts and write down what store you spent the money at, and then write down the amount, and do that for 30 days just so you can get an idea of some of the things that you are purchasing, some of the things that you're spending your money on, and it'll give you a realistic idea of, is it waste. My husband always says, well, you're spending your money, you have nothing to show for it. At least if you're spending it, at least you have something to show for it. So I like to spend my money on food. So I have something to show for it, just not probably something that that's really worth anything other than this weight that I've gained. But you kind of want to see those things if you're just running through your money and you're buying things that you don't necessarily need. So you kind of want to put those things into play. You want to try to create some type of budget. Just so you can manage your expenses. How much income do you have coming in? How much expenses do you have going out each month? Just kind of look at those things and see if you need to adjust your budget. If you need to increase it, the amount that you put aside, if you need to maybe decrease some of the spending, it will give you some ideas for that. And we also want to plan for emergencies. The last couple years we've had so many disasters, so I know that there have been so many emergencies or just things that may have taken place, even if it's something as simple as a tire going flat. We want to try to plan for those things. We want to put money away just in case we need to um, try to pay for things that were not planned for. And then also, we tracking our expenses. That will be the same thing with our spending plan. You want to track your expenses to see if you need to make some adjustments. We want to pay our bills on time. So paying our bills on time is going to help save some money and keep us from having to pay late fees. But it also is going to help our credit, because if you're paying things late, it's going to negatively affect your credit. Also, you're going to have overdraft fees, from maybe possibly your bank if you're overdrawing your account. All those things are going to take hits to your credit scores, and it's going to directly affect. So your credit score is actually very valuable. It's used in a lot of instances, whether you're applying for a credit card, whether you're applying for insurance, it's still going to affect your credit. So if you're looking here at this chart here, it's showing our credit score based on our payment history. So they use that 35%. The amount owed, they use it 30% of the time. The length of credit is 15%. New credit 10%, and then other types of credit use 10%. So we do want to make sure that we're trying to pay our bills on time, so that way it doesn't negatively affect our credit. So, and it's different based on the scales, but your credit score is going to range from very poor to exceptional. And so anywhere from 300 to 579 is very poor. About 800 to 850 is exceptional. And then there's other scales that say maybe like 900. So it just kind of depends on what the creditor is looking for. So here it's showing us the loan savings calculator for our FICO scores and how it impacts the interest that you're going to pay on a loan. So if you were purchasing a home, a 30-year loan in which the interest rate does not change during the entire term of the loan, here for a 30-year loan, if you have a credit score, if your principal here is 125,000, but if you have a credit score of 700 to 759 at an annual percentage rate of 3.648%, your monthly payment will be $572, but the total interest you're going to pay on that is $80,806. Okay, so and it goes the same. If your score was much lower, look at the 620 area to the 639 at 5.36036%. Your monthly payments will be $674, but your interest is going to be $117,561. It's the same for an auto loan here. So a 60-month loan for a new automobile in which the interest rate does not change during the entire term. You're going to look at your score here of 690 to 700 to 719 with the annual percentage rate of 5.09%. Your payments, they're low. It's $378 dollars, and then your interest is 2,695. But if you have a poor score of 500 or 500 to 589, your interest rate is 17%, 17.368%. So your payment is $501, and then your total interest paid is $10,061. So we can see how getting a $20,000 loan and then you're adding an additional 10,000 on top of it just in interest because of our credit scores. Pay attention to detail. You want to try to, if you're receiving emails, read those emails. So if you have changes in your terms for your accounts, any type of fees or minimum balance, if you have a bank account, you want to do your best to get a free bank account if all possible. And you want to try to keep in mind that if they say if your account goes under a certain amount, they're going to charge you a fee, then you want to do your best to make sure that you adjust your lifestyle so that you will have a free account. So that way you're not paying them to have an account there at their location. Then also something else you want to consider is a lot of times banks make changes to their products. And so you want to try to read any emails that they send you just to make sure that there hasn't been a change that you are not aware of. And that way you can adjust your payments or your needs as necessary. Try to do paperless billing if possible. A lot of times banks charge a anywhere from $2 to $10 fees for you receiving like a paper statement, or even companies if you receive a paper bill. So try to eliminate that. Well, that way you won't have that additional fee. So that will save us some money here. Um, Also, get yourself set up on a schedule. If you are interested, you can set up direct withdrawal, so that way they will automatically take the money out of your account, and you don't have to remember to, oh, it's the first of the month or the 15th, I got to pay this bill. You don't have to remember. So that way, if you forget, then you're paying a late fee on top of that, and then it's also affecting your credit. So we want to adjust those things as we need as well. Check for incorrect charges. There are so many times when there are charges that may be showing up on your account and you don't know what they are. Call the companies and ask what these charges are. That way, you just have an idea. Sometimes they have billing errors. That's the same even with your doctor statement. I check everything. I even check my receipts from the grocery store because there are times when they say an item is on sale and it's not on sale on my receipt, and so I'll go right to customer service and get the difference that they owe me. So check everything that comes across your lap. You want to check it and make sure that it is accurate and correct. Also, you want to try bundling services just to kind of limit some of the money that you're spending. So check out your phone versus your cable companies. A lot of times these companies have services that are all compiled into one, and they may give you a good discount or a good rate on those items, but you want to check first before you switch over and decide to bundle, because it may not be the best deal. Maybe you don't really need internet, or maybe you don't really need a landline, or maybe you don't even watch cable television. So you kind of want to consider what your needs are and then adjust to that. But a lot of times bundling your services will actually save you some money. Um, I know couples or households where they have everything separate, because I pay this bill and you pay this bill, then we're going to keep everything separate. But you would actually in the long run save more money if you decide to bundle those services. So just kind of check, and then also haggle those prices. You don't have to accept what they're giving you, just see what they're offering you. And if you're not good at it, maybe if you have a spouse or someone else in the household that may be good at haggling prices, maybe see if they can haggle some prices for you and see what the best deals are. And a lot of times, the companies are just going to give you, whatever they say that's available. And if you just accept it, then they're fine with it. Then they're just going to move forward. So contact those companies and see what kind of rates they're offering, see what kind of specials they're offering. Let them know that such and such company, if there are any, are offering a rate of, their services for $200, and see if they are able to match. And then try to avoid contracts if possible, because for one, that also limits your ability to move to a different company if you find a better rate. We want to try to do our best to lower our utility bills. So, an average annual expenditure on our utilities in the South is about $3,741. Some of you may be more, some of you may be less, but that's kind of the average. So, they're saying that we spend about $1,719 on electricity, and then $503 on our water bill. So you can have your services, your energy companies conduct an audit just to kind of see if you have any leaks in your home, especially if you have an older home that may have like maybe like plumbing issues. I recommend that you get those items repaired, because in the long run you're going to waste so much money. It's literally like you're just throwing money out of the window, like you're literally just driving and just letting your money just blow away. So try to get those things repaired if at all possible, so that way you're not just wasting money on things that are damaged, or just leaking it around the home. And then try adjusting your thermostats. We spend a lot of money trying to cool and heat our homes, so we want to try to adjust those things. So if you adjust your thermostat for every 1 degree increase in your AC, or every decrease in your heat, you can save anywhere from 2 to 3% in cost. So in the summertime, you want to try to use your ceiling fans if possible. Also in the winter you can use your ceiling fan as well, because in the winter you'll be able to circulate your heat, and that way you won't have to have your heater on. Also, you won't have to have it on for long periods of time. It'll cause the heat to move throughout the house to circulate it. And then it's the same thing with our AC. Try to invest in a programmable thermostat or some type of smart device, where that way it'll turn the AC and heater on and off as is needed, as opposed to just leaving it on. And then see if there are any rebates or credits or anything of that nature that you can possibly use through your utility company. So they recommend that our interior temperature is about 78 degrees. So in the summertime, it's like how's your home environment? Like, is it really hot? Is it really cold? Do you just have to have your air blasting in the summertime? You want to try to consider those things, because all of that is going to affect how much you're spending on your utility bill. So we in one of my older homes, I used to have well, our bills were really cheap. So the house was a nice size, 4 bedroom, and our bill would be anywhere from like $90 to maybe $129. And so we contacted the electricity company, and they mentioned that if we keep our AC unit on 80 when we're away and come back, or 78, it's between 78 and 80 when we're away and we come back, it will adjust, the temperature will adjust, and then it won't cost us so much in our electric bill. So that's kind of what we did. Now it worked for us because we were gone all day, so we can put ours on 80. That way it won't have to work so hard, because it's nighttime by the time we get home. Now if you get home in the middle of the day, then you don't want to be turning it off and then allowing it to have to heat up your home, and then you have to use so much energy to cool the entire home when you come back, and it's still the heat of the day. So for us it kind of worked in our situation, because we were gone all day long, and we would literally get home probably about 8:30 or so, or sometimes even later than that. So it kind of, the temperature adjustment kind of worked for us, but you would have to see what works for you and your household. I'm not saying walk around and be uncomfortable or miserable, but if you do make some adjustments, you'll be able to save more money. You want to try to use Energy Star appliances, because they're going to save you energy, and you'll be able to see it when you purchase the items from the stores. They'll have like a sticker on it that shows you that they are Energy Star appliance. Also, your lighting, you want to check if your utility company offers some type of rebates for CFL and LED bulbs. Those are the fluorescent light bulbs that you can use. And as far as our phantom power, it accounts for 10% of our household energy use, and 4% alone due to your cable boxes and DVR. So those are things that's just power wasted, things that are plugged up that we can't do anything about, like maybe your refrigerator is plugged up, you have wires and stuff in your home that are plugged in that have to be attached to something. But if you have things like your charger plugged up and your phone is not plugged in, it is still draining power. Yeah, so unplug those things. If you want to put them on maybe like a surge protector or a power strip, and that way you can turn them all off, at one time, and you don't have to worry about going through the house and making sure things are unplugged, and that's fine. I know it'll be difficult to unplug your television because you have, your DVRs are set to record or have things that are that you're trying to save on there. So you can't adjust all of those things. But little things left plugged up like lamps and chargers and curling irons and coffee makers, those things are just pulling power from you and costing you money overall. Okay, we already discussed stopping our water leaks, but just look and see if you have any type of leaks. I mean, even just a little drop here and there is a leak, and so it's going to cost money in the long run. We all need to eat. So we spend about 49 cents of every dollar eating out. So we want to look at and think about, how do you spend your food dollar? Well, the good thing for me, as far as since COVID, I don't want to eat out at all. Like if I eat out, it's because I have no choice. But I try my best not to eat out if at all possible. So you want to look and see, how are you spending your money? Are you spending the most bulk of your money going out to eat? How are you spending money as far as your shopping? Are you doing wise shopping? Are you shopping with the sales that are coming out weekly? Are you trying to coupon or trying to save grocery money? But what you can do is try to plan weekly. You want to look at your store ads, use as many coupons, download digital coupons if possible for you to be able to use. Also, you can do meatless Mondays where you just focus on like using vegetables, things of that nature. And something else you can try is, instead of us, it's more of a Mediterranean eating pattern, but you can try to plan your meals based on your vegetables. Like instead of us planning our meals based on like our meats, you can do that as well. Explore your freezer, see what you have in there. I did a 30-day pantry food challenge, and basically what it consists of was using everything that I had in my pantry for 30 days. Now I didn't make the 30 days. I made it about 21 days. But I was so happy that I actually made it. So all you have to do is try to make foods using the items that you already have in your pantry. Now you can go to the store and purchase maybe milk, bread, eggs, things of that nature, like the necessities that you would need, the bare essentials. But for the most part, you try to create a meal out of things that you already have. For one, that's going to reduce waste. And you're going to use stuff that you didn't even realize you had in there, like that's just been sitting in there, maybe about to expire, or you purchased it and hadn't forgot you had it and didn't use it. But I think I made about 21 days. I was making all kinds of things, but at least I was able to get foods out that I just buy. I would buy meat and just keep buying meat, and it's just in there. Then I was buying like I see those canned goods on sale. So I'm like, I'm gonna stock up on all these green beans, and they just sitting in there. What can I do? What can I make? So I was making all kinds of things, but was able to reduce waste. And it saved me money for the grocery store because I didn't have to go shopping until the end of the month. So I kind of was able to double up the next time. Also, you want to insure for less. So you want to do some comparison shopping. So at least every 3 years, check the rates to see what they are, if you can get a better deal. Sometimes we sometimes we don't think, we just go out here and get whatever we can find, and we're spending way too much money. So here is a website, this www.tdi.texas.gov/consumer. You can go on there and be able to check, do some comparison for your rates. This is also a link for a resource for you for the consumer protection, to help you find the best value. But this is kind of what it will look like when you go onto the website. You just go in and put in your information, and then you'll be able to do some comparison shopping here. This is also here for you to do your driver's profile. And remember that your credit will also affect your insurance rate as well. So it's important for us to make sure that we're taking care of our credit and being mindful of those things. So here, if you look at the top, this one here is for a married female. She has one speeding ticket. So this is her comparison shopping. And she's basically using this to go from home, from work, and from home to work every day. So if you look at the first rating, the 21st Century Centennial, this gives you an idea of what it will look like. So it gives her a sample rate. And then the American Best Rating, that's basically going to tell you the financial strength of the insurance company that you're using. So it has an A. Their complaint index is showing you there, as well as the rate changes and the percentage versus the rate change. The next one, is the same. She's going to and from work. She has good credit though. If you look before, she had average credit. Okay, this one was for average credit. This next one is for good credit. So they actually gave her a lower annual sample rate, 424. Okay, so and then look at her rate changes based on the percentages as well. Okay, and then here she still has good credit on this one, but she's using it for pleasure. Okay, so her rate it decreased more. Her credit rating was still the same. So her annual payment was $379. And then her rate change was, her percentages also adjusted as well. So you want to watch that you aren't, that you're not over or underinsured. A lot of times we have people that are overinsured, but I guess sometimes it may be better to be overinsured. It just kind of depends on how much you're trying to save, um, versus, planning for your future. So those are some things just to kind of consider. But try not to be underinsured. You want to select the largest deductible that you can afford. So that means that if something happens, how much money can you afford to pay before they repair whatever damages that are necessary? That way, you'll be able to spend less on your insurance. And then you can also consider the fact that, you're not just throwing money out of the window pretty much, because how often will you need to, have the insurance company come and check something or repair something? So, those are some things just to kind of consider. Try to explore multi line discounts if you can. Contact them to see what they're offering. Look around, use this comparison sheet just to try to see if your companies are offering better discounts as well. And then if you make your payment once a year, they oftentimes will give you a larger discount as opposed to paying a monthly premium. So that's something to also consider if you can afford it. And then maintain good credit, because your credit rating is definitely going to affect that. Now, we want to talk a little bit about becoming debt free. So, I'm sure we all have some type of debt that we want to get rid of. So, this Power Pay here is a resource that you can use to kind of help you manage and pay, your bills. It's going to give you an idea of how, like a personalized plan of how you can pay off your bill. So, so you will go to this website here to create you an account. Once you create an account, there are a number of tools that you can use on here. The ones that show you how to eliminate debt. You can create a spending plan on here. You can learn how to save. It'll give you an estimate of how you're going to pay off your bill. So this is an example. It lines it up. For you, but it shows all of the creditors, on one side, the balances that you owe, how many months you're expected to pay off, and then the percentage rates or the APRs that you owe, and then the payoff time. So when do you expect to pay this off according to what you have borrowed? And then this is actually what it looks like when you're able to pull it up. So it puts the highest interest rate first, so that way you can try to pay that off. It's kind of similar to the snowball effect, where you have a bill that you owe, or some type of credit that you owe, and basically it will line them up for you, and it takes the payments that you owe on the highest interest rate bill. You cover that, and the money that you're using to pay that off, you then, once you pay that bill off, you add that money with the amount that you owe for the next bill, and you just continue to do that, increasing your payments throughout the time, so that way you'll be able to pay off all of those debts that you owe. When you're buying, you want to think of all the costs. So if you when you get in a car, maybe you need the loan, you're going to have insurance. What about your repair history, any type of maintenance requirements, as well as mileage estimates? If you can, buy a used car. So I have a used car. Well, my car was new, but it's old now. It has almost 500,000 miles on it. And people are like, why don't you get a new car? There's nothing wrong with my car. I think people are more concerned about me getting a new car than I am. I'm so happy with my car. I'm content. I don't owe anybody any money on it. So I'm just fine and happy with my car. And so I look at that because and it gives good gas mileage. So I think I pay in the when the prices are terrible, I think most I'll pay for gas is like $33. But anywhere from 22 to $27 will fill my car up. So I'm happy with that. But you want to try to do the things to make sure that you can keep your car going. So I'm going for 700,000 miles if I can get there. So we'll see. But you want to change your oil, change your own oil. That will save you money if you can. If you don't know how to change it, then go get it changed because we don't want you damaging anything. And then some of the vehicles now may be a little difficult for you to change them. So you may have to take it in, but try to find places where you can get discounts. Like, um, I have a Toyota Camry, so I like to go to the Toyota place. Toyotas are pretty good cars, so I like to go to the Toyota place because they'll let me know if there are other things that are wrong with my vehicle. If I need to make some changes or add something or repair something, they'll let me know that. But I don't like being there all day, so I don't go there that often. But when I do go, although it's pricey to go there, they price match. So I will let them know like there's a place in my neighborhood. They're 19.99. I'll show them the ad and they'll match that price. So that's great. And then I'm able to get all of these things like diagnostic checks and things of that nature to let me know if there's something wrong with my car. And they also let me know if there are any warranty issues that are free that needs to be repaired. Because I basically got half of my motor repaired due to like a warranty defect. So that may be partially why my car is still running. Now she was purring like a kitten. She may be roaring like a tiger now, but at least she's still riding. All right, if you can, you want to use public transportation if available. That way you're not spending, necessary gas, unnecessary gas and things of that nature. You want to try to downsize your vehicle if possible. Smaller vehicles will cost you less money than they will to take a larger vehicle. I have a Tahoe and it's older. We use it to kind of haul things around, but I had to drive it into work for a while until I got my car repaired one time, and I could not wait to get out of that Tahoe because it was costing me like $60 like every 2 days to drive all the way to work. And I was frustrated because and it's so bad. Like I will put $7 in that car to go to in that Tahoe to go to the store and come back. I'm not filling that thing up, but that's not the way it should be. But I don't drive it that often. It literally stays parked for the most of the time. It's actually older than my car, but it has like it may only have like maybe 200,000 miles on it. So you know it just downsize if you possibly can. And then if your vehicle is paid for, don't be in a rush to go get a new vehicle. Try to use that and save that money. Put that money back if possible, and just keep your vehicle up with the upkeep. If you need an oil change, get your oil change. If you need new tires, get those things. Just get the minor things that you need to keep your vehicle running, and overall that's going to save you money. If possible, carpool. I know it's kind of difficult right now with COVID, but when things get better, if they do get better, then we want to try to carpool if possible. That will save us overall. Just maintain your vehicle. That way you're not just letting it tear up, and then you're gonna have to get a new vehicle. Then you want to group your errands. So instead of if you have to go pick up something in one area, try to get everything that you need in that particular area as opposed to driving back and forth. Then give up driving one day a week if you can. If you're able to work from home, then maybe you work so many days and then you're at home one day. That will actually help save if possible. Then you want to skip the drive through. So times we go through drive throughs, the drive throughs actually made us very lazy. Especially me. If a place don't have a drive through, I really don't go there a whole lot. Like I love Chipotle, but it's so much easier to go through the drive through. And so because sometimes I don't feel like getting out the car, I won't go. So you kind of want to skip the drive throughs as possible because you're sitting there, you're burning gas, so that's costing you money. So not only are you going to buy this food that's unhealthy, that's going to cost you something down the road, you are possibly just eating away at our ozone because you're sitting here idling, your vehicle's just sitting here and the gas fumes are just wasting it, and then it's going to cost you money as well. Try to park in the shade if there's a garage, so that'll keep your car cooler. You won't have to burn so much energy trying to, or gas trying to cool your car off. Also empty your trunk if you have a lot of stuff lugging in your vehicle. Like I do, I have all kind of stuff in the back of my trunk. It's costing you more money overall because pulling that is burning more gas. Just think about how much energy someone will be using if they have to pull a wagon full of watermelons or something. It's kind of the same way. And then when you're driving, try not to have an attitude. Try not to have road rage. You know, when you're going through those cars, zooming through, hitting your gas, zooming through, you're burning lots of energy and burning lots of gas trying to cut through those cars and speed through just to only get a few inches of in front of the next car. So there are some free or low cost things that you can do that will be fun for your whole family. So the library offers so many programs. They have a lot of summer programs for kids. All of these things are free. So those are some free things that you could do. Maybe going to the park with your family, maybe having a game night or just a movie night. One of my neighbors, they had a since COVID's been going on, but they have a little kids, and their kids have made friends, and so they had a projector screen that they put out in front of their garage, and they had all the little kids in the neighborhood sit out in their yard and watch movies. And I thought it was really cool. All those little kids were there watching movies. So just something to do, and it didn't cost them anything to do that. Also, you can maybe have a book club if you have friends that you can maybe, since it's COVID is still here, we could read books and then we can meet over the phone and just kind of talk about the book. We can't do potlucks right now, but potlucks also save money as well. And then if you get any type of special promotions, let's say you want to go do something like bowling or skating, they offer a lot of free or specials throughout the week. So check on those things and see what they have. Use Redbox DVDs if possible. If you don't want to pay for any type of Netflix subscriptions or any of these other Hulus or any of these other things, and the Redbox is, I think, it's like $1 and something for you to rent a movie. And then try to get those shopper or traveler programs if you can, if they're free. I wouldn't pay to join anything, but if you can get any of the free ones, then you'll be able to take advantage of some of the specials and things that they're offering for hotels and travel. So also, as far as our employee and retirement benefits, we can save money there. During your annual enrollment, that would be a good opportunity to look at some of the options that they have. So we have spending accounts where you can save money. So whether it's healthcare, maybe it's dependent care, you can use pre-tax dollars to pay for some of those deductibles as well as your copay and your daycare expenses. So those are some things that you can check when it's time for you to do your annual enrollment. So also think about where you live. If you're in a large house, you're gonna probably spend more money, or at least take the time to. If you just have to have a large house because you have a large family, then take the time or put the money back to invest in, like putting up energy efficient things that are gonna help you save overall. So when I told you we had like light bills like $90, things like that, we had like special stuff in our home that was also energy efficient, although we wasn't there really that much either, but it was much better than the home now we have. We have energy efficient stuff things, but it's not the same as it was over there. And so those are some things to consider. But overall, if you're in a smaller home, you should be using less utilities. Just should require less than it would be if you were in a much larger home. And then if you reduce some of the things that you have, some of us have so much stuff, and it's so easy for us to become collectors. Like, how much stuff do you have? My husband has 4 barbecue grills. I take them. He has 5 barbecue grills. He has a brand new one that he just got, the one that he's actually using. But it's like we collect so much stuff, and then you have to purchase a storage because now you don't have space for those things, and that's extra money coming out. So try to reduce those things. So I've been putting stuff up for sale, trying to get rid of things. So look into those things, get rid of some of that stuff you have, and then you will need less space. The more things you buy, the more space you're going to need to put those things. So that's something to consider. That way we won't have to be wasting so much money on things that we're already spending money to have. And then if you want to, you can rent rather than own. Okay, you'll have less expenses when you rent. And that has a kind of like a double saying, because you can rent, but make sure that you're not paying more than what it would cost you to actually own a home as well. But you'll be paying less on insurance, okay, much less, because you can probably get a plan for about anywhere from $20 and up a month. So that's something to look into. And then you won't be responsible for paying like the taxes at the end of the year. You won't be responsible for having to keep up with the maintenance or the repairs for the home. So that would be a way for you to save some extra money there. You, if you're a senior age, want to ask about discounts, or shop on senior discount days. And sometimes the stores have the entire store marked down, so it's the deals are for the seniors, but because they know seniors shop on a particular day, they may go ahead and just have the stores discounted, and you may be able to benefit from some of those items if you're not a senior. And then you go to resale shops, maybe go to yard sales, and you can find some really cool things at yard sales and resale shops. And then if you have subscriptions, and let's say you receive magazine subscriptions or even newspapers, try to see if they can offer you better deals. Do you even use them? Do you read the newspapers still? Do you use those magazines that are coming that you're paying for every month? If not, cancel those subscriptions. You don't need to be just wasting money, on things that you're not going to use for sure. And then we want to try to save money on gifts. Um, you can try to make your own gifts. There are so many videos on YouTube and ideas on Pinterest where you can put things together to try to make gifts for people. Draw names if you have a large family, so that way you don't have to purchase items individually. You can just purchase for like one particular person or one group of your family. And then regift items. I regift items all the time. I have so much stuff I collect because I'm also a couponer, and I just regift those items. And it's just so people, they can find joy. It's just regifting doesn't mean that you don't like it. It just means that maybe you can see that someone else may value or have more value for it or more of a need for it, or appreciate it. So you can regift those, and then try to give memories, not stuff. So if it could be something simple, maybe a photo, or maybe do something special, go out to dinner, or just they're fine. There's so many ways of things that you can do that won't cost you so much money, to provide gifts for other people. And then some other habits that can help you save money is just say no. You have people that maybe they need to borrow money. It's okay to help people, but you want to try to, you don't give them all your money and then you don't have what you need to take care of yourself. Okay. And then ask yourself, why are you buying something? If you really want it, just think about it. Like, I really want this item. Do I need it? What is it going to do for me? How much is it going to cost? One thing about me, I'm not an impulse shopper. So that's one thing that's in my favor. And if I do impulse buy, I always regret it. And more than likely, I'm going to take something back. So I actually take my time in purchasing items. Sometimes I have, missed out on a good deal because I'm not an impulse shopper, but sometimes it has saved me money over time. And then think about your spending triggers. I have a lady that works with me, and I'll be like, hey, you want to go to the 99-cent store for lunch? And she'll be like, I don't want to spend any unnecessary money. If you know that going to the store, you can't contain yourself, you just have to buy something, then you might need to pick up a habit and say, oh no, not going to the stores when you know that you don't want to spend any unnecessary money. So I'll try to get me some snacks, and but while I'm in there getting a snack, I'm always finding something else that I want to buy in there. And I'll think about it because it's 99-cent store. They have them everywhere. I'm not gonna impulse to buy it. Okay. Unless it was like a great deal, then maybe I will. It just kind of depends. And then institute a waiting period. So if I see something on sale, I will watch it because I know, especially after Christmas, I know that items are going to go down on every holiday they have a window of like the prices are going to drop to 40%, 50%, 70%. They just continue to go on. So if it's an item that I really want, I'm not going to wait until it goes 70% because it's probably not going to be there. I'm going to get it by the time it gets to 50 if it's something I really, really want. But if you can institute like a waiting period and just see if the price is going to drop, then you may be able to get a good deal and save money in the process. Try to comparison shop. Anytime I'm purchasing anything major, I'm always looking to try to see if I could find it cheaper somewhere. There's an app that you can download on your phone called the Flip app, FLIPP, and you'll be able to use this app to compare like items. So you all you have to do is type in the search bar, let's say apples, and it'll pull up every store that has apples and what the prices are for for that item. So sometimes like Best Buy, you can look for like appliances or computers or printers and things of that nature. If you know the exact name, you can put it in there and see if they have those items as well. And then also institute a replacement policy. So if something comes in, something must go out, especially for clothes. We tend to spend a lot of money on clothes, just buying things. And sometimes you probably have so many clothes in there with tags on them that you haven't worn. So if you haven't worn those items, then maybe you need to donate them. That way you get a tax write-off for them. And then also something else, if you're buying something new, you need to take something else out of your closet. That way that will help you to keep you from just buying so many items because you got to get rid of something to put it in. And this is just another resource, the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, as well as our Family and Consumer Sciences. This is a resource for you to be able to utilize to find information if you need more information in detail, as well. And then any one of our agents will be able to help you with any questions or anything you may have. So do y'all have any questions for me? Okay, well, if there are no questions, I would like to thank you all very much.
Thank you, Letitia. Um, I think the information that you provided was really valuable. I did. You mentioned like bank fees, and I had an experience with my mom's husband. The bank like changed over to a new banking system,
Hmm.
and he was being charged $12 a month on his savings account because there was no activity taking place. And so it had been going on for years. So I got word of it and I just called the bank, had a conversation with them because I know that's something that the banks here do also. But to avoid that fee, I always automatically have $25 transferred to the savings account to avoid that $12 fee. And the lady was like, yes. And I don't know if he was ever told that and just didn't understand, but just thinking about each year, 12 and 12, that's $144 that he was being charged by simply not just simply automatically having that $25 deposited into that account. So it's little things like that and just, understanding where your money goes. But thank you so much. The information was really good. And I just want to, I know Susan placed some things in the chat. Just want to remind everyone that we have line dancing with Lee tonight at 6 o'clock, and that is part of Walk Across Texas. Our next Wellness Wednesday will be on the 28th, 2 weeks from today. And I think it's related to stress eating. And like I said before, we're in the process of planning a mental health first aid training for youth and adults. So if anyone is interested in sitting or being a part of that, please place your name in the chat or feel free to email Susan. Thank you all. And if there are no other questions, we will see you all on the 28th.
Well, I wanted to comment. I think we may be at the same bank. I had the same problem actually a couple weeks ago. I realized that one of my accounts was being charged a fee for the for going under the balance. So it's a business account, and I have $25 being transferred that was supposed to suffice for the account. But they recently changed their products. And so with them changing the products, they said they notified everyone. And they may have notified me. I may have just not have read it. But they were continuing to charge me. And so my fee was only $10. But, they just kept charging me. And so I would transfer the money, put the account back. But because they keep transferring money out, it's going to keep going below. And so I have to put so much money back into that account just so because I keep forgetting. And then if not, it's gonna charge me a $10 fee. So I literally raked up $60 in transfer fees, but I was able to get it waived. So I was able to talk to them to get it waived and put back. And that way I can kind of pay attention to the account because it's not an account that I use often. So I just need to, pay attention to it. But I think we're probably at the same bank.
Well, thank you for sharing. And if there are no other questions, if you have a question, feel free to unmute and ask. Okay, well, thank you, Leticia, once again. And everyone, we will see you on the 28th. Be blessed.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Thank you.